Hi, this is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Insight. The Federal Reserve Ferris Wheel. Where do you get on? Where do you get off? It's very clear that the market takes its marching orders from what the Fed may or may not do, which only adds to the uncertainty and the anxiety that people are feeling across this country. Now, I talk about on Hidden Wealth Radio the impact of this AARP study. Now, fascinating. The study found that 33% of all U.S. households will not have enough money for retirement, even if they worked until the age of 70. This was a study just done last year, even before more of this anxiety has crept in. Whether we're talking about Ebola, ISIS, or oil, the reality is we're a global economy, and the impact is leaving people very concerned with a lot of anxiety. Now, that anxiety, the AARP found, is that 70% of boomers believe that they'll have to continue to work through retirement at least until age 70. And many believe that, in fact, 50% of them believe that they likely won't be able to leave the 9-to-5 job workforce as a result of being able to try to sustain as similar to a lifestyle when they were in their highest wage earning years as they hopefully can do to get through retirement. Now, folks, here's the reality. I teach that you can get off this Federal Reserve Ferris wheel very easily by having the absolute upside of what the market does when it gains without the anxiety or concern of when the market loses. And whether we correct, crash, or ironically continue to go up, the reality is the more and more air you pump into a balloon, eventually that will have to bust. Now, don't take my word for it. Take people's words, such as Warren Buffett, who predicts a bubble that will bust just about a year ago. He predicted in the next few years. And then you've got folks like John Bogle, who created Vanguard Funds, who predicted on CNBC last spring that the market will likely face at minimum 2 50% minimum correction crashes within the next decade. Folks, I think we're upon that time frame now that it's very clear that the Fed is going to have to start raising interest rates. And whether the market wants to play that out to get you and I to emotionally buy in that now's the time to buy, or now's the time to sell, we've seen almost a 1,500% swing just in this last week of the market. Up, down, up, down. And that's why the anxiety about not being able to retire is there, is because many people lost. Now listen, between October of 07 to March of 09, the average person lost in this country 57% of their savings. And do you really want to have history repeat itself again? Because these things are cyclical. So I teach on Hidden Wealth Radio how you can have upside without downside. In fact, we go back to 1930, and if you see what the S&P has done, in fact, that's what every major investor or money manager aspires to get as close to that performance as possible. That performance, sadly, has only been 5.92% through 2011, 1930 to 2011. Now, if we could go back, and I want to teach you how our clients have never lost, but if you could go back, and for every time there was a negative return, you could insert a zero to where you didn't experience any loss. That return from 1930 to 2011 goes to 11.46%, nearly double, but with 100% less risk. Folks, it's very easy to learn how to do this. There is space still available. In fact, I would like to gift you my most recent book on how to avoid the 5 greatest traps to retirement, where I really go in and talk about what many of you may not know, that even pensions are being discounted. I talk about coming up with somebody whose pension went from $50,000 down to $15,000, and it's already happening. So it's not like it's going to happen or rumored to happen, it's already happening. So it's up to us to protect ourselves, whether there's government intervention to come in and tax us more, to take from us more, or for the governments to removing from what we have more than what we started with. Now's the time. And you can do so by going to myretirementprotected.com. That's myretirementprotected.com. If you're married, please attend with your spouse, or if you have a significant other, get on the same page, because in about an hour, I want to empower you on how you can have upside without downside, and do it technically, if designed right, also without taxation. So let's get market uncertainty out of your retirement, and let's get the government out of your retirement. But the time is now. myretirementprotected.com. Here's to your hidden wealth.